Ladies and gentlemen, we are at half hour.
Zio, Zio, Zio.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good, thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have places for the top of the row?
My first experiences with the Palace were when I was probably about 6 or 7 years old. At that time, they used to have vaudeville acts come here every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There would be 6 acts and a movie, and you could stay all day. You could come in for the movie and see the 6 acts and stay again if you wanted to.
There was the Strand and the Rex and the Lyric and the Crown, but it never really occurred to us to go to those theaters because we had the Granite Square and we had the Modern Theater on the West Side. But here, when you came, it was a very special event.
Even at the end of the vaudeville era, the vaudevillians used to love to come here because these houses were disappearing one at a time, one after another. And that's happened all over the country, sadly. And I'm so proud of Manchester for hanging on to the Palace Theater, because it's a treasure.
The Palace Theater is a real, honest-to-God theater with beautiful carvings and color and history. When you stand on that stage and you look into the house and you've got all of those seats filled and you feel the history of the building, and it's just wonderful.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Palace.
This city is so grateful to have a theater that's got something going on here almost every day. During the day with children coming to the theater, at nighttime performances, with the plays, the musicals, the comedians.
First time she tucked me in, I was like, what are you taking, x-rays or something? What the hell is this thing?
The theater is hardly ever dark.
I have 2 children who have grown up here at the Palace. They started actually when they were both 5 years old and progressed through the youth programs, the teen programs, and then on to the professional shows. And they're both pursuing actually musical theater as not only a passion, but as a profession.
The fact that there's such a professional program run by such talented and knowledgeable people is really unique, and I'm very thankful that I got this opportunity because lots of people don't. Their schools don't support things like this, and they don't have really well-established local theaters around.
On a regular basis, we get a phone call to say, we have some free tickets. Can you bring some students to see a performance that we're sure they would love? 92% of my students live below the poverty level. That's an opportunity that our students never would be able to afford, and as a school, we couldn't afford to pay for that.
The city has to have a life to it. It has to have a vibrancy to it. It has to have things for people to do as families, as individuals. The Palace Theater adds to that breadth of opportunities and enhancements of the city, which really helped us bring a lot of businesses to Manchester because of this wonderful historic Palace Theater.
We have a tremendous customer base that has developed. And it's primarily because of the Palace Theater. During show times, they have a lot of show days. When there's a show on, our business is booming, and I mean booming.
The people who attend the Palace Theater are also visiting restaurants. They're going to other cultural attractions, perhaps going to the Millyard Museum, the Courier, coming back for future visits. The Palace Theater presents a great opportunity to promote Manchester and all of its assets and attributes. It wouldn't be Manchester without the Palace Theater. It's all about the Palace Theater.
The Palace Theater is what a nonprofit should be. It's about excitement, it's about magic, it's about living in life, and it's our mission, it's our responsibility to make sure that the Palace is here 100 years from now.
People in the 1920s came here and sat down and watched extraordinary performers on this stage. They saw them on this very, very stage. You are part of that. You're part of that kind of history.
It's not a museum, it's a living building, which means that it's being used every single day. We have thousands of patrons come in every week. And then we have hundreds of children come in every night to rehearse, to perform, to come to camps. It's a living building.
The Palace Theater's story tells Manchester's story. It tells us that Manchester is committed to its history. It promises a vibrant future. It promises continued revitalization and growth in a dynamic community with a dynamic economy.
It's not every city that has a beautiful old house like this. And like we preserve other historic sites, I think the theater is one of those historic sites that desperately needs to be preserved and improved and just let it shine like it has in the past few years.
This beautiful historic Palace Theater is among one of the last true community theaters still standing and still producing high-quality community and professional live theater. It must endure. Please join me in donating to the Palace Theater's Second Century Fund so we can make sure that we pass this theater along to the next generation in better shape than we found it. Thank you.